We're back for our MLB Best Bets here on Thursday, April 7th. We've only got 4 games today in Major League Baseball, but we still got 5 best bets. Now, I had to cut out the Nerfy today. There's no Nerfy at all today that I like, and I can quickly tell you why. We're not betting on a Mitchell Parker Nerfy, so that gets rid of the Nationals game. For as much as I want to go Nerfy in White Sox Mariners, I'm not going to do it again. Second straight day. Did not go well for us yesterday. Paul Skeens, Brady Singer's Nerfy is like minus 170, so no value. And then I'm not betting on a Carlos Carrasco Nerfy either. So we're going to do a over-under today. All right, one of the games today is going to be an over-under bet. We still have our Nationals bet. We've got a best player prop. Plus, we've got a money line as well, or two. You'll see, 2 money lines, kind of. You'll see. We found 5 best bets. Going to make the most of it before every team plays tomorrow on August 8th, and my Nationals get to go to San Francisco. Oh, I'm so excited. Max Scherzer, Clayton Kershaw's tomorrow. That's fire. I'll be at Jake Irvin versus Kai Wang Tang in San Francisco. Anyways, folks, before we get into the video, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for some more daily MLB Best Bets here on the channel. On Greedo Plays MMA this week, our UFC Fight Night Dolidze versus Hernandez predictions, along with our UFC Vegas 109 Best Bets. So make sure to check out both those videos. Those are linked in the description down below, along with our PFL Africa 2 predictions from Johannesburg, South Africa. Patrick Ochime versus Kamara in the main event. Make sure to go check out that video, again, linked in the description down below. Muhammad Kamara. For the PFL. Okay, let's go to our first bout here. Our first best bet of the day. It's gonna be our best player prop of the day. You might know then what game we're gonna have to double up on bets, because I kind of gave it away here. There is still a Nationals bet, and I'll explain that in a second. The best player prop today is Brent Rooker. Over on total bases, his line obviously 1.5, and it's at minus 130. I'm gonna take this. Guys, Brent Rooker's matchup is Mitchell Parker. Do I need to say any more? Mitchell Parker might be the worst starting pitcher in baseball. Maybe Mitchell Parker needs to go to the bullpen. Because after Shinosuke Agasawara, who was the worst starting pitcher in all of baseball, left the national starting rotation and entered the bullpen. Now he's a 7th, 8th inning guy. How long is that going to be for? I don't know. But Shinosuke's been all right. His ERA is down to 7. Maybe Mitchell Parker needs to go to the bullpen, which I've been calling for since the beginning of the season. Anyways, Brent Rooker is going to feast in this matchup. He's just going to. First of all, it's a lefty-righty matchup, right? So, I mean, this is going to favor Rooker a lot. This is a guy who's batting .275 this season, 23 home runs, 66 RBI. Rooker yesterday went 0 and a lot of guys struggled yesterday with the Athletics. Partially because Cade Cavalli, who I'm going to talk about when we talk about our next best bet with the Nationals, who dominated. So happy about Cade. The bullpen really showed up as well. The Athletics had, 4 hits the entire game, and the Nats only had 4 as well, obviously, but it was the C.J. Abrams walk-off in the bottom of the 9th that ultimately won the game for the Nationals, and I guess Riley Adams' solo home run in the bottom of the 6th that propelled the Nationals to victory. But nobody really hit yesterday for the Athletics. That's when Mitchell Parker comes into play, guys. I don't know how well this goes for the Nationals, and again, you might be able to guess the next best bet, but I do believe, if anything, Brent Rooker is going to come through. Okay, Brent Rooker had a very good tail end to the month of July. So far in the month of August, he's batting .300. Obviously had that big game on Tuesday against the Nationals where he went 4 for 6 with 2 doubles. Crazy night out of Brent Rooker. And yes, yesterday was an 0 for 3 day. But righty matchup against Cade Cavalli. Again, I don't know how good Cavalli is going to continue to be. I hope nothing but the best for the former Oklahoma Sooner, and I'm cheering for Cavalli every step of the way. I don't know how well he fares next week, but he's going to skip the Giants, which I kind of wish he got to start in San Francisco because of how bad offensively the Giants are. Instead, Rooker's next start will be, or not Rooker, sorry, Cavalli's next start will be in Kansas City against the Royals. That's playable. The Royals aren't the greatest. We'll see. We'll see how that goes next Monday. Anyways, might be able to get decent value on Cade Cavalli and the Nationals next Monday night. Anyways, Brent Rooker should absolutely dominate Mitchell Parker. Not to beat a dead horse about Parker, but 5.35 ERA, that's one of the worst ERAs for any starting pitcher in Major League Baseball. Somehow he's got a 7-11 record because the Nats somehow put up runs when Parker's on the board, or they put runs on the board when Parker's on the mound. Parker's last start against the Milwaukee Brewers in DC, 4 innings pitched, 12 hits, 8 runs. Oh my goodness, it was horrible. ERA, if you're counting in the month of August so far, is 18. He put together 2 really good back-to-back starts. I'll give him credit. At home against the Padres and then in Minnesota. 2 games in which the Nationals actually got the victory. But look at his other 2 starts in July. Got blown up against the Brewers, 4 2/3, 8 hits, 7 runs. Against the Red Sox, 6 innings, 10 hits, 9 runs. You know, it's just, and sure, only 4 of them were earned against the Red Sox. that was because Mitchell Parker made an error himself. But if you make an error as a pitcher, it doesn't go against your ERA, which is ridiculous, but that's just how baseball works. So I know Parker put those 2 good starts together against the Padres and Twins. I'm not going to bite on that at all. We know what Mitchell Parker is against an A's lineup, who I know, again, is dealing with their fair share of injuries, right? Jacob Wilson's out right now, but there's good enough righty bats in this lineup, and obviously the number 1 righty bat is Brent Rooker. I think I kind of started talking like I had my second best bet up. So again, Brent Rooker over 1.5 total bases. The reason why I'm talking like this about how bad Mitchell Parker is because I'm taking the A's to win today. I know. I just picking against my own team doesn't always go so well for me. Hear me out. The Nats never capitalize on any momentum. And on top of that, I mean, this is like the worst guy that we can have to try to capitalize on momentum, Mitchell Parker. But there's been so many times this year with the Nationals, and back when I actually cared about our record, and I still care, obviously, but when I was really like, oh my goodness, every game is winning, like, this is everything. We got to win this one game. I'm to the point now in the season where we're 23 games under 500. Do I watch every game still? Yes. Do I get excited for walk-offs yesterday like I did with CJ Abrams? 100%. Go check out Greedo Plays Clips on TikTok. I always post all my reactions to the Nationals on there. However, I'm not too pressed anymore about if we win or not because I know we suck. And I've known from watching this team, really for the last 5 years, but especially this year too, they never capitalize on anything. They'll win a big game, and they can never do anything the night after. Like, look at the James Wood walk-off home run against the Rockies. They then proceeded to lose the next game. I know it was against the Dodgers, but still, every big win that they've put on this year, the walk-off home run, the walk-off single that Amed Rosario had early in the season against the Braves, they lost the next game. The Nationals always lose after they, pull off a dramatic victory. And right, Mitchell Parker. I mean, that's just a massive problem that we face today. Again, like I was talking about earlier with the Brent Rooker best bet, this is a guy with a 5.35 ERA. So I believe Brent Rooker is going to be a big part of the A's dominance at the plate today, but then we got to look at the other guys in the lineup. I mean, Shane Langoliers obviously went yard 3 times against Mackenzie Gore, and there's another thing too, right? The A's feasted against Mackenzie Gore on Tuesday night. That's a lefty on the bump. Here is another lefty who I know, again, Gore has seen his struggles recently, but you get a lefty tonight in Mitchell Parker who is so much worse than Mackenzie Gore, and it's not even close. I mean, look what the A's did against Gore. Everyone got going. Langoliers, Kurtz, Rooker, Bleday, Hernandez, Soderstrom, Urshela. The only guy who didn't get a hit in that game against Mackenzie Gore and the Nationals was Max Schumann, who ultimately went 0 for 6. Why Schumann leads off sometimes, I don't know. I don't think they're doing that anymore, but anyways, Mark Kotze, why? Anyways, yeah, the A's are going to win this baseball game. Personally, I don't want them to, but I know how this works. I just do. Nationals coming off a walk-off victory yesterday. They lay an egg the next day. And on top of that, Jacob Lopez is pitching, which Jacob Lopez has put together 10 consecutive innings of shutout baseball. Right? Last 10 innings for Jacob Lopez, he hasn't given up a run. Last start against the Astros, 5 innings, 5 hits, 0 runs. Against the Astros prior to that, 4 1/3, 2 hits, 0 runs. So good starts back-to-back against the Diamondbacks and the Houston Astros. That'll play. All right, Jacob Lopez ERA is down to 3.99, so now a sub-4 ERA for him. Had a much better second half of July than his first half, in which he struggled at home in Sacramento against the Giants and against the Blue Jays. And also, Jacob Lopez, a guy who pitches much better on the road. His best start all season is in Detroit in a 3-0 victory for the A's. Again, they go to Comerica Park, and Jacob Lopez goes 7 innings of shutout baseball en route to a 3-0 victory. He went on the road to Kansas City this year, 6 innings, 3 hits, 0 runs. Look how the Nationals are hitting right now. Yeah, they won. Riley Adams hits a solo home run. Robert Hassel hits a double to kick off the bottom of the 9th. CJ Abrams brings him in. They had 4 hits all game long. Again, Adams, Hassel, Abrams, James Wood had 1. That's it. Jeffrey Springs had a perfect game going into the 6th inning. Come on now. I've seen this too many times. The A's are going to win. Jacob Lopez is pitching well. Mitchell Parker's not good. And I believe the A's are going to jump all over Parker like they did to Mackenzie Gore. However, I wish Cade Cavalli was pitching today because I have never been happier in a very long time with the Washington Nationals than watching Cade Cavalli just go right through the A's yesterday. Sure, did he only get 13 outs? Yeah. But this is the most encouraging sign we have seen out of Cade Cavalli in years. I'm so serious. I mean, I remember his start in 2022 against the Cincinnati Reds. it did not go well for Cade. He then obviously had the Tommy John injury. He is now back. And for a guy who struggled mightily throughout the AAA ranks this season, struggled with control at times, struggled with runs, just giving up runs in general and giving up hits. The strikeout numbers surprisingly actually were always there this year in AAA, but my goodness, he was getting hit hard. That start yesterday against the Athletics is such a good sign. I could not be happier for Cade Cavalli. Again, he goes 4 1/3 innings. He goes out there, gives up 3 hits, 0 runs, strikes out 6 batters, and only walks 1 guy. ERA is 0 for Cade Cavalli. Cade Cavalli is the guy to break the losing streak. Obviously, aped himself that too. But my goodness, I haven't been happier for the Cavalli. Guys, the Cavalli bros, we're back. I mean, we never stopped believing. We never stopped believing in this guy, and here he is. I'm not going to straight up tell you that, oh, he is going to be a permanent fixture and he's going to be a guy that's going to be around for years like Brady House. I don't know if that's going to be the case. I sure hope it is, and I sure hope Cade Cavalli is in the rotation to start the year next year. It's just one start. But as we look for a long-term outlook for Cavalli, his next start will be Monday night at Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City against the Royals. That's not a horrible lineup to go up against, and that's not a horrible park to pitch in either for your second career start. I mean, it's really encouraging what he did against the A's, because guys, say what you want about the Athletics and their record being 16 games under 500. It's a way better record than ours, but look at the guys he faced yesterday. Shea Langoliers went yard 3 times in that game on Tuesday night, and homered twice off Mackenzie Gore. He shuts down Kurtz. Brent Rooker doesn't get a hit against Cavalli as well. It was just a masterful performance out of the former Oklahoma Sooner, and I haven't been happier. Cade Cavalli, so pumped for the guy. Velo looked good, control looked good, limited hard contact. Couldn't have asked for a better night. Welcome to the starting rotation, Cade Cavalli. Let's keep on stacking these wins, you know? We'll see. But I couldn't be happier, and I think it's a really positive sign, and a guy that, you know, we're going to continue to talk about throughout the course of the season, obviously, starting every 5th day. Okay, on to our third best bet of the video. There goes the Nationals part of the day. Okay, hear me out. White Sox plus 1.5. Okay. I know this might be kind of out there, but hear me out, guys. Hear me out. The Mariners are due to play a close one with this team. They're due to lose, too. I'm not going to straight up tell you, oh, White Sox plus 235. Nah, we're not doing that. That's the odds of that happening aren't that high. However, I do believe Chicago's able to keep this game close. Something's off, guys. The Mariners have won 5 of 6. Something's off after this team went to Sacramento last week and lost 2 of 3. Okay? This isn't right. The Mariners aren't this good. They're good, and I think they're going to be a playoff team this season. But now they're 9 games over 500. They have really separated themselves with their other rival in the American League West, obviously in the Texas Rangers, as the Mariners now only actually have 2.5 games on them. The Guards only a game and a half out? That's crazy. Good for Cleveland, man. What a game pitch yesterday by Gavin Williams, too. Almost had the no-hitter. The Guards just swept the Mets. Shout out to them. Anyways, I think the Mariners are going to play a close game with the White Sox today. I am still a bigger believer than anybody else in the Chicago White Sox starting rotation, and I get it. Didn't go our way yesterday for Jonathan Cannon. But we get their all-star today. It's Shane Smith. The second best pitcher on his team because Sean Burke's better, but it's okay. Shane Smith with his 4.25 ERA is coming off his last start on August 1st against the Angels, where he went 4 1/3 innings, 2 hits, 2 runs. If I'm not mistaken, if my memory serves me right, he hit the IL as soon as he pitched in the All-Star game. Got 1 out in the All-Star game, got taken out through 10 pitches. Anyways, last start in Anaheim, it is what it is. Went 4 1/3, gave up 2 hits and 2 runs. I feel like the Mariners are so due for a bad night, though. They're so due for one of those games where they just can't get anything going offensively. And maybe, right, the Mariners have they've turned a new leaf, right? And obviously, they made the moves to get the 2 D-backs players in Naylor and in Eugenio Suarez. Sure, maybe it's just different now. It could be. But I don't know. We don't even need the White Sox to win. We just need to be close. Yesterday, I think it's encouraging if you're picking the White Sox today. I think it is, like we are. Chicago's down 7-1 in that game. They lose 8-6. Sure, plus 1.5 to not cover. They had runners on first and second with no outs. Down by 2 in the 9th inning, and they couldn't do anything against Andres Munoz. Not surprised, even though, well, no, actually, they scored off of Munoz early. Michael A. Taylor, shout out Michael A. His Nationals bobblehead is like somewhere up there. Shout out to Michael A, though, with a solo home run, and then the White Sox put guys on first and second. They put the go-ahead run to the plate, and ultimately they couldn't capitalize. However, again, I think it's very encouraging that the White Sox were once down 1-7 in that game, 7-1 in that game. They cut it to 5-7. They cut it to 6-8. Okay, they seem to play tight with the Mariners today. Logan Gilbert's good. However, Logan Gilbert's last 2 starts, he's given up some runs. Look at his last 2. Angels and Rangers. In Anaheim, 5 innings, 3 hits, 4 runs. Rangers, 6 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs. Again, those are serviceable starts. I think the White Sox are able to keep it close here. Okay, I think they are. This team's not hitting all that poorly, man. They out-hit the Mariners. And the thing with Seattle is they are so dependent on the home run ball now. For good reason, because they got Naylor. They got Eugenio Suarez, right? You get Raleigh, who's home run or bust, Arozarena. It's the definition of a home run or bust team. Shane Smith, let's keep them in the park. Shane Smith only giving up 10 home runs this season. You know? Home run numbers aren't that horrible. They were much better at the beginning of the season. We just got to be able to limit the damage, and I just need the White Sox to scrape across a couple runs today. I think it's a very doable spot for us, honestly. Plus 1.5 doesn't feel all that horrible. Don't get me wrong, the other money line-ish pick we're taking today is much better in my opinion. It's the final bet of the video. Is my personal favorite bet of the video, and we'll get to that later. But yeah, I think Shane Smith's able to do a decent enough job. White Sox lineup scares me a little bit, but they didn't hit all that poorly yesterday, right? They put together 9 total hits. Sosa had 1, even though his 9th inning at bat was not good. Luis Robert had 1. Benintendi had 1. Tauchman had 2. Michael A had 2. Former Nationals legend Michael A. Taylor. Brooks Baldwin had a hit. Meade had a hit. I mean, you know, guys are coming through, right? Colson Montgomery still building up. Obviously, struck out 3 times yesterday. I'd expect a better day today for Montgomery if he's in the lineup. I don't mind the White Sox at all today. They out-hit the Mariners yesterday. And again, if we just can limit the long ball, I think we're going to be all right with Chicago. Going to be White Sox plus 1.5 here in the Pacific Northwest at T-Mobile Park in Seattle, Washington. Our 4th best bet of the video comes in an NL Central matchup between the Cincinnati Reds and the Pittsburgh Pirates. I said earlier, we will have our first over-under. I guess game total over-under. I don't know if we've ever done this other than Nationals games before. Pirates, Reds. Give me the under 7.5. I understand. This is you look at this game and automatically, okay, you think under, right? Oh, Reds bats aren't very good. Pirates bats are not good. That's true. The thing I'm going to say about this, don't overthink it. Just don't. I'm not going to overthink and say, oh, maybe the Reds score on Skeens. Maybe the Pirates bats come through tonight. No. This has all the makings to be a 1-0 game. Or it has all the makings to be a Paul Skeens start where he goes, 6 innings, doesn't give up a run. Pirates end up winning the game 4-0. It's just one of those type of games, right? It just is. Game total overs barely ever hit when Paul Skeens pitches. Okay? The last Paul Skeens start to go over 7.5 runs, other than his last start, which does not count because it's in Colorado and so much wacky, zany stuff happened in that Rockies-Pirates series, so that game does not count. I'm not going to count it, okay? Look at every other Paul Skeens start. In the month of July, not a single Paul Skeens start had more than 8 runs scored. Diamondbacks game was 6-0 Pirates. Tigers game 3-0 Pirates. Twins game 2-1 for Minnesota. Mariners 1-0 Seattle. Cardinals 1-0 for Pittsburgh. Hell, look to his last start in June against the Brewers. 4-2 in favor of Milwaukee. That was the Mizorowski versus Skeens start. Yeah, Skeens has just been that good. I've been on record saying it. I will continue to say it. I don't care. This is the best pitcher in baseball. Nobody's telling me otherwise. You can have Tarek Skubal. You can have Garrett Crochet. You can have Zach Wheeler. This is the guy I'm taking. And not just for long term. No. If I'm pitching Game 7 of the World Series tomorrow and I get any pitcher in the league, this is the pitcher I want. Okay? He's a -220 favorite to win the National League Cy Young this season. He should get it. I'm a little concerned they might give it to Wheeler because the Phillies might have the #1 seed in the National League. It's Skeens. Christopher Sanchez, honestly, is making a really good bid right now, even though Wheeler definitely has better numbers. But Sanchez has been lights out recently, and obviously the Sunday Night Baseball game against Detroit really put a shine on that. But, yeah, don't be worried about Skeens' last start. I know, the Rockies scored 4 runs off of him. He was very close of getting out of that game, and of course, it was just a weird-ass home run by Jordan Beck that it was the Jordan Beck home run. Yeah, it was the Jordan Beck home run that hits the top of the wall and just bounces over. It's just like, all right, Colorado came back in that game. They're down 4-0. They ultimately won it 8-5. But We don't care about that at all. Reds aren't going to hit Paul Skeens. There's not. I don't think Skeens has pitched against Cincinnati yet this year. He has not. I mean, what does Cincinnati have that concerns you in a Paul Skeens start? Last time Paul Skeens started against Cincinnati, he went 5 innings, 2 hits, 0 runs back on September 22nd. Actually, Paul Skeens has only given up 1 run against the Cincinnati Reds in 17 total innings in his career. And that 1 run he gave up was back on June 17th, where he went 6 innings, 6 hits, 1 run. That's obviously 2024 Paul Skeens. Yeah, like, the Reds are not scoring on Skeens, guys. I'm so serious. They're not scoring at all. There's a reason, by the way, today Pittsburgh is a minus 175 favorite. When do you ever see the Pirates at a minus 175 favorite? Let alone against the Reds, who are trying to make their little playoff push right now. They're only 5 games below. They're 5 games over 500, and now they're only 3 games back of the final National League wildcard spot behind the New York Mets. Who, by the way, I so hope the Reds get that. I hate the Mets. That'd be great. They probably won't. The Mets will get in, definitely. Even though they're playing like shit right now, I still expect the Mets to get that over Cincinnati. But again, that's the line for the Pirates, and they're taking on a team who bought at the deadline and trying to make their push to the playoffs right now. It shows you how good Skeens is. Brady Singer's pitching. Singer's coming off a start against the Braves where he went 6 innings, 4 hits, and 0 runs. Great. Start before that against the Rays, 7 1/3, 3 hits, and 1 run. He had a great last start of July and first start so far in August. ERA is 4.36 for Singer. Oh, and by the way, he gets to face the Pirates bats, who are led by Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, Andrew McCutchen, and that's it. I know Brian Reynolds is still involved, obviously, Peguero, but it's just like, they're all not very good right now. All right, I mean, watch that Pirates-Giants series. If you want to see no hitting, watch Pirates versus Giants. It pained me to watch that yesterday. Just for the love of the game, I was sitting there watching Pirates-Giants. The Pirates almost had it, but Jung-Hoo Lee came through and Dom Smith won it for the Giants. Like, what? Anyways, my final score prediction is like 4-0 Pirates here. I don't think the Reds are scoring at all. It's what happens when you face Paul Skeens. Skeens shuts you down for 6 innings, and then, all right, we're down 4-0 going into the 7th. All right, this game's over, And then you take these meaningless at-bats, and you're not getting back in this baseball game. Reds are also coming off a game where they scored a 1 run against the Cubs yesterday. Completely shut down by Cade Horton. They had Abbott on the mound, and they still lost the game. Abbott didn't have his best night, but went 6 2/3, gave up 4 runs, while his team lost 6-1. The Reds bats, when they go cold, they go cold. Yesterday, only 4 hits. Again, you know what you're gonna expect at the lineup: Friedel, Steer, Ellie De La Cruz, Austin Hayes, Gavin Lux, Tyler Stevenson. It's not a lineup that wows you. Keep Brian Hayes in the 9th spot every day now. He's there for his defense, even though he's made some errors since coming on over to Cincinnati. Give me the under in this game. It is under 7.5 runs. Again, my final score prediction is 4-0 Pittsburgh. And that gives us a lot of allowance, too. I just don't think Cincy scores. If they do, they score 4-1. That's fine with me. Give me the under here from PNC Park in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, between the Pirates and the Cincinnati Reds. Our final best bet of the video, surprisingly, is actually my favorite bet of the day. Give me the Miami Marlins to go to Atlanta and win. Yep. I don't care. Oh, it's, they played yesterday. They had to go right back on the road and play. No, the travel doesn't concern me. It's Miami to Atlanta, and they've been there for 24 hours. It's okay. The travel's not going to concern me at all here. I'm seeing this line right now move to minus 110 on both sides. Even better, because as I made the graphics, it was minus 120 for the Marlins. Right now, I'm seeing minus 110. Even better for us. They're not losing to the Braves. They're not. I don't know why the Braves were favored yesterday against the Brewers. Obviously, we hit on that. That was easy. That was one of our bets yesterday. I don't know why Milwaukee was an underdog. I get it. Jose Quintana was on the bump, and I get Strider was pitching, but Braves aren't a good baseball team this year. There's a reason they're 19 games under 500, and obviously we took the team that had the best record in baseball and still has the best record in baseball yesterday. So hear me out here. Are we going to take the team that's 1 game under in the Marlins or the team that's 19 games under in the Braves? We're taking the team that's 1 game under 500. I know what you're thinking. Oh, well, that doesn't always matter. It's a game of matchups in baseball. Okay, the pitching matchups: Yuri Perez versus Carlos Carrasco. What? Guys, the Marlins should be like minus 145 today. And I'm glad it's at this because I don't want to play minus 145 on the road. Guys, Carrasco, don't be fooled by Carrasco's last start. Don't be fooled, okay? He went 6 innings, only gave up 3 runs. Again, the Reds just have those type of nights. And that was a game that actually ended up being a 12-11 victory for Atlanta. Crazy. Was it the 8th inning was insane, I believe? Yeah, it was the 8th inning, one of the craziest innings you're ever going to watch. Both teams scored 8 runs. Crazy. Or was it 9? It was insane. It was 7, I think. 7 or 8. I don't know. That was the craziest 8th inning I've ever watched, or just inning I've ever watched, honestly. Yeah, don't get it twisted. Unk's not doing anything tonight, all right? Unk's going to get demolished tonight. Carrasco, who is 38 years of age, I get it. You know, he was with the Yankees. He was not good with the Yankees. He gets moved to Atlanta. He hadn't made a major league start in about 2.5 months, up until the 31st, in which he pitched against Cincinnati. Don't be fooled. The Reds just sucked that night. The Marlins, as we saw yesterday, again, we had Miami money line against the Astros. When Miami gets going, they are dangerous. Look what they do to Arrighetti yesterday. Arrighetti went 3 2/3 innings, gave up 11 hits and 5 runs. I mean, it was a constant attack. The Marlins fell down 2-0 early because Christian Walker went yard, no problem. Xavier Edwards gets up there, base knock. Kyle Stowers gets up there, base knock, right? Everyone starts hitting. Logan Hicks. Not Logan Hicks. Is it Logan Hicks? Liam Hicks. Oh my goodness. Liam Hicks with an RBI single. Ronald Lopez, RBI knock. Everybody got it going yesterday for the Marlins. That's what we're going to get today. The Braves aren't good. The Braves have lost 3 in a row. They got swept against the Brewers. They did win the series against the Reds. That's fake. Don't care. Lost the series of the Royals. Got swept against the Rangers. Lost the series of the Giants. Lost the series of the Yankees. They're not good. And oh yeah, no Acuna. Acuna, again, still out for about a month, I would think, even if he does play this season. Look at the Braves lineup. Eli White, Ozzie Albies, Matt Olson, Marcell Ozuna, Sean Murphy, Jurickson Profar, Michael Harris hit a moonshot in the 9th inning off of McGill yesterday. Wasn't enough, obviously. They were down by 2. Drake Baldwin didn't start yesterday. I'm sure he'll be in the lineup today. Guys, you take away Drake Baldwin, their best hitter, average-wise, is Matt Olson at 250. Come on now. It's not a good baseball team. And Yuri Perez, he's been lights out. Yuri Perez in the month of July had a 1.29 ERA. He struggled out the gates. He struggled with control out the gates. This is a guy who didn't pitch in 2024. He struggled early in the month of June. In the month of July, he had a 1.29 ERA. And his only start so far in August against the New York Yankees, 6 innings, 2 hits, 0 runs. Yeah, this is an elite pitcher in baseball. I mean, he's 6'8". He's nasty. 2.7 ERA, but again, in July, 1.29 ERA, and so far in August, a shutdown day against the Yankees. 6 innings, no runs, 2 hits. The Braves ain't doing jack today. They're not. Last time Perez faced the Braves, they got to him. But that was his 3rd start of the year. Went 4 2/3, 4 hits, 3 runs. I don't care. Don't care. This is a different Yuri Perez, and it's a different Braves team, too, that's not as good. And also, Carrasco's going. Again, the Marlins might not have these guys that you point at and be like, oh, these guys are, watch out for these big name value guys. But Xavier Edwards is teetering on 300 this season. Kyle Stowers is arguably a top 25 player in baseball. Can we talk about that? Honestly, top 40 at the very least. Stowers is right there. Agustin Ramirez is one of the toughest outs in baseball just because of how hard he hits the baseball. How about Hernandez in left field? That dude's killing the ball. Hit a home run yesterday as well. There's so many tough outs in the Marlins lineup, and they get Yuri Perez, their best pitcher, going today. Yeah, obviously they're beating the Braves. The Braves are 19 under. They suck, and the Marlins still believe that they can get back in the postseason being 1 game under 500. Sign me up for the Miami Marlins. Absolutely love them in this spot here at Truist Park in Atlanta, Georgia. -110, -128 does not matter. Give me the Miami Marlins. I'm going with the Fish on the road against their NL East rivals in the Atlanta Braves. So, folks, thank y'all for watching our best bets here for August 7th. If you haven't yet, though, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for more. Make sure to leave a like if you did enjoy the video. Make sure to comment if you do disagree with any of the picks. Folks, thank y'all for watching, and Mamba forever.